the hero's journey and the need for meaning. This part of it focuses more on what are the capacities of human beings for destructive behavior. What can happen when we strip away when we strip away societal norms, expectations of civilization? What happens in those situations? How many of you are familiar with the Stanford Prison study? Okay, a few of you are. So I'm just going to walk you through this as an illustration because I think it makes a very important point that we can then generalize to our context. Philip Zimbardo was a professor at Stanford University, and in 1971, he wanted to figure out, what has caused the atrocities that we saw in World War II and elsewhere. And he wanted to study human behavior in a very structured context. He recruited Stanford University students. He screened them for mental health problems. So he took a group of guys that were psychologically normal. He randomly assigned them to a 2-week experiment where he brought them to the basement of the Stanford psychology department where they had converted the basement to look just like a prison. They put these students into one of two roles. They had to be prisoners or they had to be guards. And they weren't given a lot of guidance beyond that, but they had to act out these roles. And so they started doing this. People started playing this out. What happened? Within a short order, you started seeing roles occurring, where the students in the guard role started acting brutal towards the prisoners, who became very passive. And you see the prisoners over there with bags on their heads. You see the guard got on the right there. Again, randomly assigned to this. From Zimbardo's logbook, after a few days, he wrote, because he was there the whole time, the prisoners wearily line up to recite their ID numbers and to demonstrate that they remember all 17 prisoner rules of engagement. It's 1 a.m. No matter how well the prisoners do so, one of them gets singled out for punishment. They are yelled at, cursed at, and made to say abusive things at each other. This is not a group with a tradition. This is not, a gravitation of the people with the sadistic tendencies into roles that gave them power. This is average people being put into these roles, and you see this. Does that sound familiar? That kind of behavior? I'm seeing people